how do you find, on that topic, the love of your life?
That's a good question. I was asked that multiple times on my tour, 3 times in a row, in fact, because we asked people to use this Slido gadget.
That's a popular question?
It always came up to the top. And I got asked that 3 times in a row, and I didn't have a good answer. And then I thought, why don't I have a good answer? I thought, oh, I know why. Because that's a stupid question. So why?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's putting the cart before the horse. Here's the right question. How do I make myself into the perfect date? You answer that question, and you will not have any problem answering the previous question. It's like, what do I want in a partner? If I offered everything I could to a partner, who would I be? You work on that. Ask that question. Just ask. Just ask yourself, okay, I have to be the person that women would want. Okay, what do they want? Clean. That's not a bad start. Reasonably good physical shape. So healthy, productive, generous, honest, willing to delay gratification. So you dance with a woman. It's like, what's she doing? What are you two doing? Well, it's a pattern. There's patterns happening around you. That's the music. Patterns of being. That's the music. Now, can you align yourself with the patterns of being gracefully? That's what she's checking out. And then can you do that with her? And then can you do that in a playful and attentive manner? And keep your bloody hands to yourself for at least a minute. And so, can you dance in a playful manner? It's like you can go through this in your imagination. And you'll know. And then you think, well, how far am I from those things? And the answer is usually, man, it's a pretty horrible abyss separating you from that ideal. But the harder you work on offering other people what they need and want, the more people will line up to play with you. And so it's the wrong question. It's like, how can I be the best partner possible? And then you think, well, if I do that, people will just take advantage of me. And that's the non-naive objection, right? Because the naive person's saying, well, I'll be good and everyone will treat me right. It's like the cynic says, no, I'll be good and someone will take me out. And then you think, well, what do you do about that objection? And the answer is, well, you factor that in. And that's why you're supposed to be, what is it? As soft as a dove and as wise as a serpent. It's like, I know you're full of snakes. I know it. Maybe I know it more than you do. But we'll play anyways.
Dating isn't the same as love. Spending all day talking to someone isn't love, nor is staying up all night for them. Real love is someone who sees you at your worst and still chooses to stand by you. It's someone who steps in when you can't handle things alone, who holds you and brings you comfort when you're overwhelmed. Love is someone who reminds you of your worth when you're lost in self-doubt. It's someone who genuinely cares about how you're feeling, who thinks of you even in moments when you're apart. True love is a steady commitment and unwavering presence in your life. That's what love really means. There's something so beautiful about people who have tasted bitterness but are still determined to savor the sweetness life has to offer. You can sense it in their presence. They have a sense of calm warmth, and they refuse to let life take from them. I love these kinds of people, people who have stayed gentle in a world that tried to harden them. They've known darkness, but still offer their light to others. Their kindness is real and genuine, never a tactic or a strategy. I need you to listen to this. You should never allow anyone to feel comfortable disrespecting you. The moment they do, you start losing your power. Toxic people rarely change for the better. They only push boundaries further, testing to see just how much you'll tolerate. When you forgive someone's disrespect without consequence, it's often taken as permission. They may apologize, promising it won't happen again, but actions speak louder than words. If they repeat the behavior, it's a pattern, not a mistake. This isn't about forgiveness. It's manipulation, plain and simple. Knowing your worth means setting clear boundaries and refusing to compromise on the respect you deserve. Stand firm, because respecting yourself is how you maintain your power. Don't let anyone chip away at it with empty promises. Don't just move on from the people who hurt you. Move on from the version of yourself that allowed them to hold power over you. It's not enough to distance yourself from those who caused you pain. True growth means stepping away from the parts of yourself that once clung to their validation or feared their disapproval. Release the insecurities and self-doubt that kept you connected to them, even when they no longer deserved a place in your life. Embrace the version of you that stands firm in self-worth, no longer defined by anyone's influence or controlled by anyone's approval. Move forward with a renewed sense of strength, freed from the need for outside validation, and let that version of yourself be the one to carry you ahead. Sometimes you have to face the truth that what you're holding on to isn't something good anymore. You're just clinging to a memory of when it once was. We often find ourselves trying to recreate the past, hoping to revive moments that felt right. But there's usually a reason things change. Trust your instincts. They're telling you that the path forward isn't found in looking back. Let go of the need to return to what once was and make space for what can truly be good for you now. Some days, simply existing is enough. Have you ever woken up feeling like the weight of the world rests on your shoulders when even the smallest tasks seem overwhelming? In a society that glorifies constant hustle and measures worth by productivity, it's easy to feel like you're not doing enough. But here's a thought that challenges that norm. Sometimes your greatest accomplishment is simply being here. Your body is waging unseen battles. Your mind is processing things that lie beyond your awareness. Your heart is healing from wounds others may never see. On those days when getting out of bed feels like an achievement, or when taking a shower feels like a milestone, remember, you're doing just fine. You're not a machine. You're human. And it's okay to take a step back, to have off days, to exist without needing a reason or a goal. You're breathing. You're here. And some days, that's more than enough. According to psychology, too many adults struggle with the reality that they don't truly like themselves, and instead of facing this, they make it everyone else's problem. Rather than reflecting inwardly, they project their insecurities and frustrations onto those around them, creating strain in relationships and environments. It's an unfortunate truth. People often mask their own self-doubt by directing it outward, hoping to find validation or blame in others rather than within themselves. This cycle continues because there are so many who avoid the difficult task of self-acceptance. In the end, it's a widespread issue. People who don't like themselves unintentionally passing on their internal conflicts to those closest to them. Toxic relationships don't merely fill an empty space. They cause fresh harm and bring up old pain. Rather than reaching out to those who have hurt you, embrace this period of solitude for introspection and personal growth. Invest in self-love, pursue your passions, and create a life that genuinely excites you. Meaningful connections will come naturally when you're in a stronger, healthier mindset. As the saying goes, it's better to be alone than with those who drain you. True love is when two people inspire each other to keep going, even when life feels overwhelming. It's the kind of bond that recognizes the weight of simply being alive, the effort it takes to face each day and push forward despite the struggles. Life can be heavy, full of suffering and challenges, and it's all too easy to feel worn down by it. But true love is finding that person who stands by your side, reminding you why it's worth it. Together, you find reasons to keep going, to reignite your passion for life when it feels faded. They become your anchor, your light, in a world that can often feel dark. True love isn't about perfection. It's about finding strength together, one step at a time, even in a world that can be harsh. I think the key to staying happy is how you practice gratitude. It's how you appreciate what you have so it doesn't turn into what you lose. It's in speaking goodness and kindness and love into your life so it amplifies. It's not about comparing someone else's life to yours, because journeys aren't for comparing when you're on your own one. It's not about even noticing if something lacks, because you're so focused on the things in your life that don't lack, the things and people and relationships that make you value your life so much. In the realization of how lucky you are, you will get luckier. In the realization of how good things are, things will get better. That's how it works. It's not to say you won't encounter adversity, but when you do, it won't knock you or take you out. You'll be so mentally prepared with how to overcome it because of how you show up for yourself in your own life.